Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash. This is HashQuest. Actually, this is the Dungeon Book of Battle Mats, Volume 1 from Loki Battle Mats. It is going to be featured in this video atop Ian Schofield's beautiful dungeon mats, because in this video we are going to be looking at Dirt Cheap Dungeons Jail Cells Kit. This is a hobby gaming product that will allow you to add deep immersion to your scenes if they involve jail cells. This is what you get. Doesn't seem like a lot in the tin, so to speak, but we're going to be able to build the picture and take you through a few familiar concepts here with Dirt Cheap Dungeons. Like the dungeon walls, these are made of a very sturdy injection molded plastic. It's made in the USA and comes with, still connected by a little bit of plastic here, jail cell style doors and jail walls with the door openings. Now you could do abandoned jail cells and just not even have like doors on them at all. You could choose to put doors on, leave doors off, whatever you want to do. These are designed to work in conjunction with whatever other Dirt Cheap Dungeon sets you have. I will show them here in isolation for this presentation, and I do want to thank Dirt Cheap Dungeons for providing the product for this video. Thank you so much to Dirt Cheap Dungeons. As is standard Dirt Cheap Dungeons fare, we have 4 components here included with the kit. We have black connector clips called top clips. These act as connectors for the walls or doorway pieces. They basically hold all of your segments together in an unobtrusive way that is minimalistic. And we have hinge clips, which are used to place the doors onto the door frames. You don't have to use these if you're not going to use the doors, but if you are, you'll take the straight square shaped side and you'll just push that onto the door frame, and you will very likely never remove it again, whether by choice or not. Then you will push the door's rounded bits into the actual hinges, being careful not to bend the hinges themselves inward. I've done that a few times. Open your door all the way while holding the hinge pins into the door. They may come loose. You may have to push them back into place just to get rid of like the little excess plastic that is formed around the door, if you have any. And boom, there you go. Pow, door is installed forever. These follow a 1-inch grid system standard. So if you're bored, like the Loki Battle Mats areas are 1 inches, plurals Ash, then you guys can also have an immersive dungeon right on your play area. It'll be the same size. We can use the corner top clips here to connect these 2 sections. And now we are on our way to creating a dungeon scene on pages 19 and 20 of this Loki Battle Map set. Obviously, you can do this on the HeroQuest board. You can do this on anything, on nothing. We don't have a listing of what all this comes with, but you've got 4 of these 2-tile wide wall sections with door, 4 without door, just the wall sections. Perfect for subdividing your jail cells, and 8 of these 3-tile wide jail cell sections, 4 single-tile wide wall sections. Also perfect for dividing up your cells if you want really tiny cells, and enough clips and doors to fill up the door spaces and connect it all together with some clips left over. Let me just see if I can make enough jail cell to cover this area here. Maybe not this area. I don't think we're going to be able to go through the, We're not really going to be able to go through the, we kind of could. We kind of could go straight through, but we really don't have like a good place to go straight through the ring binding. So far, so good. I've got these sections done and the doors on and very openable. Should you have the correct key, of course. We can't have our prisoners just wandering out like Otis Campbell, the town drunk from the Andy Griffith Show. Note that I'm placing the doors in slightly different places than the openings that are in the walls that are in the artwork for these mats, because I can do that. The actual wall covers up the 2D wall and the doorway. I keep getting worried that I'm going to press too hard and like break the clips or something, because you have to apply a little bit of force, but nope, they go right in. By the way, the little feet that are on these walls kind of really help them stand up if you need to use them like in isolation, or if you just want to place them down and you can't really be bothered to clip them together. It's totally fine. And although these follow a 1-inch grid system, you don't necessarily have to place your like T connectors exactly at 1-inch intervals. You can place them wherever you like, and you can have a very variable size room on top of your 1-inch grid. That part's totally up to you. You retain control over that sort of aspect of your dungeon designing. It takes a little bit of time to get everything put together. That's not really a con, just an observation, because if you're going to utilize a system like this, that's what you're going to have to deal with. I really love the Loki books very much. I can look past the ring binding. Here it kind of stands out a little bit more, ironically enough, when you're using a 3D asset for walls such as this. I was able to build what I wanted, and I have plenty of stuff left over, so I'm just going to keep building. I've got choices here because of these two cells kind of being linked on the board, there not being any way to go between them. I could use a cross junction to connect them. I feel like if I do that, instead of using two separate corner junctions and having them physically separate, instead of having them together, that this is going to be too close and it's going to bring the walls with it where I don't want them. I mean, I could be wrong, and I don't think it really matters that much anyway. I'll go ahead and try it. We'll give it the old college try, the old Bard's college try. And yes, all of your wall feet are going to stay out of each other's way when you are linking this stuff together, so it was actually pretty well designed in my opinion. I like the simplicity of the bars. This stuff also takes paint very well, and it's resistant to acetone and alcohol, so you can wash the paint off. I'm not getting paid to say that. It is an important note, because some of you guys like to repaint stuff. And you will compare this to 3D printed options. While I think the comparison is fair, I don't think that it's going to be valid for everybody because it's going to depend on your use case and like what you really want to do with these things. It's like in my opinion, it doesn't matter that you can 3D print this stuff. I like injection molded. I have a bias towards injection mold. Now I forgot to put a door on this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover it up with one of these 1-tile wide ones. We can call this like a secret door equivalent in this jail. That's it. I've ran myself out of walls finally. So this is a scene that you could build with this collection of walls. The druid from the cave adventurer takes his orc friend to the jails of the old world. They both feel they owe a bit of a debt to one another for helping each other during the horrifying battle against the man-eating ogres. The orc has a friend that can help them travel further to complete the ambitions of the druid. Shelly Shake Heckgiver is a Molotov-throwing goblin who was locked away for throwing Molotovs in a no Molotov throwing zone, also known as a nursing home. She provides them with valuable information. She's made friends with the other goblins in this jail. They can point the druid to his next location of interest. Overhearing the conversation, the man-eating ogre behind the bars jeers, jowls, growls, and even gears. I'll leave it to you to figure out what that means as we move on to our next scenario.
I'll get you out of here, Buck. I've got a good lawyer. It's okay, Ronald. I'm happier in here. I can serve my time knowing that justice has been served. But you didn't do it. Buck, you didn't run into the forest, strip down naked, turn into a werewolf, and howl at the moon. Open your eyes, brother, and look at me.
Man, you guys suck. How dare you get caught by the captain of the guard? I'm pretty sure you're the one who sold us out, Minxie. I did, but that's besides the point. How did you get caught? Lame. You told the captain where we would be, when we would be there, what escape routes we would have. I know, but it's a testament to your skill as an actual thieving goblin to avoid all of that. It was a test. A test of what? How not to trust our fearless leader? Guys, I baked a cake with a file in it. Let me just smoosh the cake through the bars. Nobody will ever know. Minxie, stop. Clink. Do you think the guards heard that?
We just heard a clink. It sounded just like a file being dropped through the bars of one of the cells encased in cake batter.
No, Minxie, I don't think the guards heard that.
Quick, guys, run! It's old school Skaven. Ah!
We're here to confiscate the cake, yes. Is it a cheesecake?
That joke is in poor taste. We are rat men, not rats.
Do you not like cheesecake? I didn't say that, did I? You get your inspirations from watching my videos and creating awesome content. I get my inspiration from playing with tiny little figurines and giving them voices. Don't judge. If you watched this far, you obviously liked it, so give that little like button. It's just a tap, just a little boop. That helps out more than you can imagine. So does a comment. So does more than one comment if you have different comments for different parts of the video. Be sure to check out Dirt Cheap Dungeons and check out my HQ set overview and unboxing right here on the channel, as well as other videos. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Go onward, not lightly into the dreadful night, brave heroes. Unless it's Monday, in which case, go ahead and hit that snooze button. 5 more minutes won't hurt anybody. By the way, this stuff is really easy to break apart and just store right back in its tiny container. It's not going to break, nothing's going to snap and fly off. There, I've just completely leveled my dungeon in a matter of seconds. Not going to have any trouble fitting back into the box. I know this from other Dirt Cheap Dungeon products, so worry not about that. That said, if collecting all of this Dirt Cheap Dungeon stuff is becoming a bit of a problem for you, you might mitigate all of this stuff into larger, more sorted storage, and that's something we'll be looking at in the future as well. So until next time, brave heroes, bye for now.